Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, we're going to be getting into a topic that's a lot more serious, and it ties in with not only my community, but the entire world. I think currently everyone is concerned about whether or not we're going to be entering a World War III, if you will, because we have a situation currently going on with Russia and Ukraine, where Russia is trying to invade Ukraine. I think they already started at this point, and I found it interesting because over the last few weeks, I've been looking at what other countries have been trying to do to either help or, assist in the efforts of trying to protect Ukraine from an invasion. So Germany came up in this whole ordeal, and what I saw was very, interesting and borderline almost laughable. I guess Germany at one point offered to, send over, 1,000 helmets to Ukraine and support of them and whatnot. But I'm like, what is 1,000 helmets gonna do, man? Like, it's weird. So anyways, we're gonna be getting into this video today. It's called Why Germany Won't Help Ukraine. I think it'll be pretty interesting. I'm gonna leave the original video in the description down below. Make sure you go subscribe to this man's channel. I think his name, it's right here. It's the Caspian Report. We're going to check this out today, watch it together, break this down, and I want to hear your thoughts and feelings in the comments down below. But most importantly, make sure you guys do not forget to subscribe. It's very important. We're on the road to 500,000 subscribers. We post videos regularly. We used to post every single day, but I feel like regularly is probably a more accurate term or accurate statement when it comes to that sort of thing. So let's not waste any time, and without further ado,
here is how it looks from the inside. Lawmakers are holding up the flags of allied nations that have stepped up arms supplies to Ukraine. One flag is notably missing, the tricolors of Germany. Whenever the European Union has had to make decisions on policy making, Germany has always taken the lead. Now, however, Europe's biggest and wealthiest state.
Yeah, I'm very curious as to why Germany hasn't really helped, maybe somebody in the comments might know. Also, a genuine question for everybody watching this. Are you worried for what's to come with this whole situation unfolding? Because right now it seems like Russia's actively invading the Ukraine as of yesterday, and the world is kind of like shooketh. They're like, should we turn a blind eye? Should we put down sanctions? Should we not do anything? We don't know. So the people of the world are kind of just watching this and are like, well, what's going to happen? Are we about to engage in some weirdo activity, or like, what's going on, man? It's crazy.
Is watching the Ukrainian crisis from the sidelines.
Yeah,
German lawmakers refuse to supply Ukraine with weapons while taking a soft attitude with Russia. Still more, the German Foreign Ministry refuses to say whether Germany would abandon the Nord Stream 2 pipeline in case of a Russian attack on Ukraine.
Oh, maybe it's the new coalition. I never thought of that. Okay, so here's a more politically charged question that I'm genuinely curious about. Do you think that the CDU would have acted more, definitively about a situation like this? Do you think they would have lent a hand and helped out Ukraine expeditiously and effectively in comparison to this coalition that we have going on right now? I'm curious because it's a legitimate question, and maybe the people in power could be the reason why this kind of didn't go through. I mean, it obviously is because they control what decisions are made and what aren't, but there could be a good reason for that. Maybe it's to stay out of it. Maybe it's to play Switzerland's role and kind of just be on the sidelines, be like, hey, well, we're not for or against any of this, we're just vibing in our own little area. I don't know. Like, you guys let me know.
Ukraine. The ordeal has raised eyebrows among NATO member states, so much so that in Eastern Europe, Germany is increasingly viewed more as an ally of Russia. So why is Germany out of step with its NATO allies? Why is it throwing Ukraine under the bus?
Damn. That's wild. I'm curious, though. I definitely am very curious.
Today's video is sponsored by NordPass, a cybersecurity tool that makes digital life easier and safer. In Europe, President Biden has put thousands of American troops on high alert. Denmark is sending F-16 fighter jets to Lithuania. Spain is sending a warship to the Black Sea, and the Netherlands is sending F-35 fighter aircraft to Bulgaria.
Jesus.
Meanwhile, the United Kingdom is airlifting Javelin anti-armor missiles. Turkey is transferring Bayraktar TB2 drones. Poland is sending Pirunia shoulder-fired surface-to-air missiles.
Yeah, well, Ukraine's getting beefed up, so I'm pretty sure Russia invading the Ukraine is almost the equivalent of Russia just saying it's us against the world, you know, because it seems like Ukraine, who initially would have had nothing to defend against Russia, or at least the bare minimum, has a lot of firepower now because it's getting support from all of these other countries. But even that might not be enough, because it's not like they're getting a whole lot, but they are getting a leg up, you know?
While Canada is deploying a security task force on Ukrainian soil. Even the smaller nations are stepping up. Latvia and Lithuania.
It's interesting because when you think about this, I think this is structured in a way that something massive could happen. And hear me out. I mean, we all probably know what I'm about to say. Imagine there is an all-out war in Ukraine, right? And, you know, Russia is going hard in the paint. Ukraine's fighting back. Russia doubles down, and, you know, Russia goes through and slaughters a whole lot of Ukrainian soldiers, or so they think. A lot of the support that's being sent to Ukraine are from all these different countries. So let's say people from Canada get slaughtered, and Great Britain gets slaughtered, and Latvia and Turkey. Well, now all of them are like, okay, cool. We've all entered the official chat. We're going to go ahead and send a fuck ton of people. And, you know, same with America. America got involved in World War II because we got bombed directly in Pearl Harbor. So they're like, oh, all right, America's entered the chat. Let's go and, you know, go ahead and contribute what we can to the war and end this as fast as possible. Same with them. I feel like they're sending support, but it's almost like a tactic to get Russia to back off, you know, because if Russia does attack any of the people that were sent there as help, then that definitely justifies all the countries sending like waves and waves and waves of their military to go over there and, you know, pretty much avenge the fallen soldiers in Ukraine. So I don't know if you guys agree with me on that, but it seems like that's what's happening. This is a very intense situation. I feel like this situation is probably just as intense, if not more intense, than the Cold War, because I feel like Russia actually did something right now. You know what I mean? Like,
are shipping Stinger anti-aircraft missiles to Kiev. However, while some NATO allies transfer weapons to Ukraine, others are not. Germany is not sending arms, but it has delivered a field hospital and 5,000 helmets.
5,000 helmets, my bad. A field hospital. Hey, the hospital is actually a contribution. So for those that were saying that in the beginning of the video, I hear you. A hospital is that's a thing. I mean, just because you don't send weapons over there doesn't mean, like, you know, you're not being effective. But the 5,000 helmets, that's boneless. You might as well have taken that back. Send 5,000 bulletproof vests or something. I know that's probably a lot more expensive for several reasons, obvious reasons, but the hospital does seem like an effective move, and I did not know that. So that makes a lot of sense.
A deed that has been ridiculed across Eastern Europe.
Oh yeah, worldwide actually. I saw articles about this. Worldwide, everybody ridiculed Germany for this move. It's like, why did you might as well have not helped, you know what I mean? I'm not sure how big the hospital they sent over to Ukraine is, but I feel like, you know, Germany's medical technology is, you know, pristine, elite, you know? So if they sent something of high quality over to Ukraine, then, you know, that's good. I'm not sure why people are freaking out, but the 5,000 helmets thing was a slap in the face. I have to say that was a slap in the face. What are 5,000 helmets about to do? You act like everybody gets headshots. Most people don't. It's to the body, you know? So like, what? Oh my God. Like it just, that was weird. It was a really weird thing. And I'm like, this article, and then it went from me saying this article is a little weird. Why would they say that? And then I looked at it, and it wasn't just one article; it was all of them when that move was made. And I'm like, What's going on in Germany, man? I need answers, bro. What's going on, man?
Mayor, for instance, responded by saying that Germany might send pillows next.
Literally, bro. That's exactly how effective those helmets are. That is exactly how effective those. You might as well send like sleeping bags would actually low key be effective. But I'm saying like pillows and maybe like I don't know, hair scrunchies or something like that, man. Like the helmets aren't about to do nothing, bro.
Enough help from the Germans.
Is joke.
It is a joke.
By the way, I want to say thank you, but it's not enough. It's not really.
It's like imagine getting jumped, right? And as you're getting jumped, you're asking for help. You're screaming for like, your dear life. You're fighting for your life, quite literally, right? You have like, 6 people, just muggers, jumping you in the middle of the street. People are walking by, and a person walks by and throws a tissue at you while you're getting jumped and says, "Hey, clean yourself up." Well, the tissue floats away because obviously everybody's still beating the shit out of them. That didn't help. That did not help. And then, walks away like they did something. That's exactly how Germany looked in this. And I was baffled because I'm like, I'm pretty sure Germany has historically been more helpful than this in the recent years, right? But 5,000 helmets, bro. What the freak is going on, G? But hey, that's why we're here, man. When I saw that, I was baffled. But now we're here watching a video titled "Why Germany Won't Help Ukraine," and that's what all the nations and stuff, like United Nations, and NATO altogether, they were like, "Bro, like, what the freak, Germany? What are you doing? What's going on, man? Like, you need help. We can help you, help them, But it's crazy. I don't know. You let me know what you think in the comments down below, because that was a very weird situation. But maybe, I don't know, maybe there's plans to help out a lot, more significantly in the future, or not at all. I think the reason why, though, I feel like the only legitimate reason why I could see Germany doing something like that is to effectively stay out of the conflict. I think that's what the intention was, right? It's like everybody's helping. So literally, like, Germany is like, well, we could offer you some tissues, or figuratively speaking for the example I just gave, but we could offer you some helmets and stuff. Knowing damn well that's not going to do anything, but it's like, something's better than nothing, and at that point you stay out, because the thing is, Russia can't be mad at Germany sending 5,000 helmets, protective helmets, to Ukraine. They can get mad at all the other countries sending, missiles and troops and this and that, because they're all things that are pretty much to effectively defend, keyword here, effectively defend the Ukraine. Yeah, 5,000 helmets are not about to effectively defend anybody. That protects you from, like, maybe 1% of harm. Maybe, you know what I mean? Like, maybe not helpful at all.
Really help.
But anecdotes aside, German officials insist that a Russian violation of Ukraine's territorial integrity would have grave consequences.
True.
But action talks louder than words.
True.
Berlin has not only ruled out weapon exports to Ukraine.
See, that's what I'm saying. Russia's not going to take Germany's support of Ukraine in this way as a threat. So they're going to leave Germany alone. If anything were to go down worldwide, Russia would be like, all right, well, Germany, you didn't really do anything that says, hey, you're supporting my enemies. You kind of just gave them a napkin or a tissue while they were getting jumped. So we're not going to bother you. The other situations, though, let's use a different example, or a similar example, but using the other people that helped out Russia. So let's say Russia is beating up Ukraine, right? Like, you got these two people, you got person A, person B, they get into a fight. Person A wants to take person B's things, right? not necessarily criminal, but they just have a dispute over something, right? And person A starts beating the crap out of person B. Well, person B calls for backup, and backup happens to be his 5 cousins. So person B's 5 cousins show up, and they all start throwing each a punch and a kick to person A, right? Person A is getting hurt. They're like, whoa, 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 what's going on? And person B is able to stand up and fight back, Well, now person A is furious because now they got to come back with more firepower. And this time, not only is person B in grave danger, but so is everybody that helped, except for the person that walked by and dropped the tissue. Because everybody, including person A, would have looked at the person who dropped the tissue and been like, what? I'm pretty sure I'm going to take a shot in the dark and say it. I'm sure when Putin saw like the 5,000 helmet thing that, Germany suggested to Ukraine, and they're like in their head, like, okay, are they going to be our enemies? Da-da-da. He probably laughed. That's just his humor. He probably laughed. He's like, what? They're not a problem. Everybody else is, though, however, So I'm pretty sure with this coalition, I think that if you look at the big picture, Germany probably made this move to stay out of it. And that was something that I was thinking about under the surface in the beginning, because like, why would they send so little support? Because that means you did not really fuel Ukraine to fight back, right? It's not really your conflict, and Germany realizes that's not their conflict. It doesn't affect them directly. So while they can be, philanthropists, right, and like help out and they have to be strategic with how they help out. So I feel like, yeah, it does seem like a gigantic slap in the face when someone's getting, beat up and they're like, yo, I need help. And you're like, here's a new t-shirt so you don't look so messy when you get up. At that point, Russia would be like, all right, well, yeah, take the t-shirt, bro. You probably need it after I'm done breaking them bones. Like, it's crazy, dude. Crazy.
But it has also held back the shipment of German-based military hardware from Estonia to Ukraine. What's more, German lawmakers have been ambiguous about the Nord Stream 2 gas pipeline running from Russia to Germany. Ooh. And whether or not the controversial pipeline would be part of sanctions against Russia. Olaf Scholz, the head of the German government, has consistently declared that Nord Stream 2 is a private sector venture entirely separate from the Ukrainian crisis. Meanwhile, Friedrich Merz, leader of the political opposition and successor to Angela Merkel, is against excluding Russian banks from the SWIFT payment network, which handles global financial transfers. The reason? It would harm German economic interests. Yet perhaps
I knew that it had to do with protecting Germany in some way, shape, or form. They want to, because it's deeper than staying out of a war and protecting the people. It's protecting the economy. Germany's economy right now is the best I feel like it's ever been. Best it's ever been. It's never been better than this right now. Currently, I feel like. Maybe I'm talking on my ass, and maybe it's been better in the past, but I feel like right now Germany's in like the top 3 most progressive countries, economic powerhouse in the world. I think right now it's number 1, if I'm not mistaken. I think Germany's probably doing better than America at this point, because America's got some issues, you know what I'm saying? But maybe America's first and then Germany's second, or maybe Germany's first, America's second. But I do know Germany's economy is popping, and I feel like they're trying to do everything in their power to keep it popping, and losing it because of a play that they made with good intent would be devastating, So I get that. I do understand why that is a thing, but you might as well have not sent out any help, because it seems like a smack in the face, It's crazy.
The most controversial statement came from Kai-Achim Schönbach, the chief of the German Navy, who was caught on tape saying Ukraine would never be able to regain Crimea and that Putin wants and deserves respect.
Whoa, all right, I don't know about that, Chief. I'm not supporting, I'm just breaking it down. I'm trying to be empathetic here to what's going on. Like, what the freak? Like, what? I'm trying to understand why that choice was made, right? Don't act like I'm like, ooh, like, what, no. Listen, I'm trying to understand why Germany sent 5,000 helmets knowing damn well Ukraine needed more help than that. But now it makes sense because from what I see, Germany's just trying to protect itself because there is potentially a massive global crisis that is about to go down. Eventually, Germany's going to have to choose sides. You know what I mean? Obviously, they're going to choose like the side, like, you know, our side and stuff like that, obviously. But I'm saying like it's right now, avoiding a bigger conflict in the long run, it's like they're trying to stay out of it and be like, you know, as far away from the blast radius as possible. But that politician that said that Putin deserves respect and all that other craziness, man, I don't know what the hell he's talking about. I don't know what the freak he's talking about, man.
What he really wants is respect. He wants, on eye level, he wants respect. And my God, giving someone respect is low cost, even no cost. So if I was asked, I'm not asked, when I was asked, it is easy to even give him the respect he really demands and probably also deserves.
The vice admiral later resigned from office, but
hell yeah, what the fuck is he saying? What the freak? What? That don't make no damn sense. Oh man, people be putting their foot in their mouth and stuff. I've probably done it more times than I can count myself, but bruh, like, oh my God.
his attitude prevails in the German political spectrum. These developments and more have frustrated the efforts of NATO, which seeks to secure unity and unanimity to deal with Russia.
You know what's crazy? Ukraine asked to join, I think Ukraine asked to join NATO or the EU, one of the two. Pretty sure Ukraine requested to join join NATO. And so NATO was like, damn, now we got to triple down. Like, we got to really protect Ukraine. That's as far as what I understand. I could be wrong. I read somewhere that the Ukraine was trying to join NATO, and boom, you know, if that's the case, that's like a family. That's a family network, man. Everybody associated with NATO does not play games, and it's everybody versus Russia. Russia would definitely back off in a heartbeat, but Russia is also like, I don't know. It could get nasty real quick, man, because you can't act like Russia doesn't have allies. I feel like, I'm not sure if Russia is allied with China. Not sure if they're allies per se, but I feel like they're close. They both don't like America for sure. So like, that's enough for them to be like, hey, alliance, boom, you know? And China has a crap ton of people. They haven't really been directly, like, I don't know if they have been directly involved in a war in a long time. I mean, they've supported, you know, other like enemies and stuff and given them weapons and whatnot, but every country has at some point. But I don't feel like they've directly sent millions upon like hundreds of thousands of troops to a location. They kind of just are in their own bubble. But I feel like if China was poked hard enough, they would enter the chat, and it would probably be an incredibly devastating moment in history. It's, oh man, I just hope nothing really happens that is super tragic, that involves another world war, man. That would be terrible. But like I said, you guys let me know in the comments down below if you think that that's where this is heading, because it seems like that is where this is heading. I don't know if it is, but you can let me know. Just seems like everybody's talking about it, and I'm like, what's going on and what the hell's happening? But this right now is why Germany won't help the Ukraine. And you know, this is, man.
Country matters more to European unity than Germany. Yet, Berlin's reluctance to confront Moscow is wavering a unified European front. Germany's official reasoning for its posture, or lack thereof, is historical responsibility.
But
sensitivities between Moscow and Berlin are shaped by centuries of cultural exchange.
Wait a minute. So Germany's excuse for behaving the way they were behaving from Berlin responded with saying, oh, well, there's like a cultural connection we have with Russia. That's it. That's it. I thought it was to protect the country and stay out of the conflict. Not that. That's like a boneless excuse. That's like YouTube removing the dislike button and saying it's to protect small creators. Nobody gives a shit about small creators, bruh. Like, there's a bigger reason behind that, obviously. But Jesus.
And conflict. Germany attacked Russia twice in the 20th century. The second attempt, which resulted in a genocidal war. An estimated 27 million Soviet citizens died. So German lawmakers see Russia differently from their NATO counterparts.
Oh, they're probably like very worried. It seems that they're very worried. That's what it looks like, man. I get it. I get the fear of not, of being in a very messed up position, getting involved. So they're pretty much like, that's hot potato. Nah. We'll revisit that one later. But right now, the best method of business is to kind of stay out of it as much as humanly possible, because we do not want what happened before to happen again with us.
Not least the ruling German government. The stance of the post-Merkel coalition government in Berlin, which is led by the Social Democrats, the Greens and the Free Democrats, is rooted in history. The Social Democrats, who hold the Chancellor's office, have a history of reapproachment with Russia. They were on friendly terms with the Soviet Union and continue to be on good terms with Russia.
Yeah.
Now, the Social Democrats are making political decisions based on experiences from decades ago.
Yeah, and that's what I'm saying. And that's what I've been saying the whole video. I get it. It's to basically protect Germany. The choices Germany have made, the support Germany has decided to send to the Ukraine, the decisions that have been made in this conflict are a lot more understandable now that what I was thinking has been confirmed, which is they're basically just trying to protect their country because they've already had history with Russia before. And right now they have a decent relationship, and instead of poking the bear, they're kind of like, we're staying out of it. I understand how that's fucked up, but I also understand how that's not entirely out of the realm of things that make sense. You know what I mean? It makes sense. I can't say it doesn't make sense, because that makes a lot of sense. Because quite literally, if things were to go down, which it does seem like things would probably kind of pop off in some way, shape, or form, Germany would be in a lot of trouble if they jumped in the pot. But if they didn't jump in, then essentially their economy could still thrive. Russia would be beefing with everybody, but they would be like, all right, well, we'll just temporarily leave Germany alone until I feel like at some point Russia would try to test the relationship that they have with Germany. And then it'd be like, all right, you got to pick sides, bruh. Are you helping us out? Are you helping everybody else out? Boom. I'm pretty sure, I don't know how it goes down, but I'm pretty sure Germany would be like, all right, yeah, we're not going to help you out, but is there any way we could keep the peace? Because we don't want to be beefing with you, but we also don't want to fight, or support, your battles. You know what I mean? We can support Ukraine, need be. We'll send weapons and stuff, but damn, I don't know. I feel like that's what it is. It's literally like Germany's trying to protect themselves from what's going on, man. And like I said, if you disagree with me, please let me know. I'm just trying to articulate what I see, because that's what it looks like right now, and that's what it's been explained, so it makes a lot of sense.
At the same time, the Greens have their roots in the peace movements and thus object to any arms deliveries. The toughest of the bunch in the coalition are the Free Democrats, but they don't want to shake up the government. Yet, regardless of the domestic politics, Germany's soft tone with Russia does not sit well with Ukraine. Officials in Kiev say the historical responsibility contention is groundless because they suffered as much as Russia during World War II.
True.
However, beyond the official story, there are objective, quantifiable interests at play. The crisis in Ukraine comes at a time when Europe is dealing with soaring energy prices and internal disagreements over how to switch to renewable sources of energy. The Russian leadership knows this and is making the most of it. In the past, the Europeans responded to Russian encroachment with economic sanctions. However, sanctions have already been in place for years following Russia's annexation of Crimea in 2014. To apply additional sanctions would mean halting Russian energy supplies to Europe. but it's nearly impossible to sanction a country that holds a near monopoly on the supply of certain goods.
Jesus.
The most prized possession in Russia's energy policy towards Europe is Nord Stream 2.
Man, I'll never ask about the air conditioning problem in Germany ever again, bro. I just realized how expensive you guys' electricity is and like the whole power situation going on in Germany. I will never make a dig at that again. I'll never talk about it. I get it. The reason why you guys don't have air conditioning means you guys' energy bills would be through the roof. Through the roof. Oh my gosh, I didn't realize Russia had a monopoly on this shit. Like, what the hell?
Running for 1,200 kilometers under the Baltic Sea, Nord Stream 2 is a pipeline that means to bring natural gas from Russia to Germany. A pipeline held by Russian state-owned energy company Gazprom. Nord Stream 2 is yet to be commissioned, but once operational, Russia would be able to sell additional natural gas to European customers without paying transit fees to Ukraine.
That's
what makes Nord Stream 2...
Wow, it's like they're bypassing the Ukraine to do this, which makes a lot of sense, but it's not good for Ukraine because, I mean, it's like, what the hell? That's wild.
A game-changing instrument is Germany's climate change pledge to go carbon neutral by 2045.
Jesus.
As part of its plan, Germany decommissioned half of its nuclear plants and intends to close down the remaining nuclear plants within a year.
Whoa.
By doing so, by taking these premature steps, Berlin has shot itself in the foot. Now, Berlin is more dependent on natural gas than before.
Damn. So it's like they kind of have to keep a good relationship with Russia right now, because if they don't, Russia could cut them off and then Germany is going to be struggling. Because, I mean, where would you get your resources from? I mean, like in that regard, regarding, you know, power and stuff like that, where would you get it from? You know, like, I mean, I'm sure a nearby country might have it, but not like Russia has it, man. Like, this is a very tricky and sticky situation because there's so many moving parts to this. I'm legitimately worried, bro. This is wild. This is a very intense conflict, man.
Likely to shake off its addiction for 3 reasons. Firstly, even though Germany has invested fiercely in renewable innovations, wind and solar cannot yet replace natural gas.
True that.
Of which about 1/3 is imported from Russia.
Good God.
Secondly, roughly half the natural
1/3.
gas Germany consumes comes from its manufacturing sector. To cut natural gas consumption, German manufacturers would need to either scale back production or redesign their production processes, which would be costly and time-consuming.
And the economy would inevitably take a hit from that, bro. They would take a hit from that shit. Like, oh my God, this is crazy.
Thirdly, natural gas is a transitional energy source that is fundamental to switching from hydrocarbon to renewable energy. The thing is, natural gas emits half the carbon dioxide emissions of coal, which is why nations are focusing on natural gas as they ditch coal and oil before renewables ramp up. This transition phase will last until the 2040s and 2050s. Interestingly, the Greens, who make up the junior partner in the coalition government, are in charge of the Foreign Ministry as well as the Economic and Climate Ministry. And herein things come together. Germany's foreign policy is in the hands of the same party that manages the climate policy. A climate policy where natural gas is the key component.
Jesus.
This then explains why the Germans have such a hard time rejecting Nord Stream 2. If anything, Germany needs even more natural gas.
There's always a reason behind people's actions. It's never random. I didn't think it was random, but I did think it was weird. But this makes sense. This makes a lot of sense. It's a sticky situation, man. It's not something that has a one size fits all solution. Wow, I did not realize the predicament Germany was in right now. This is crazy. This is insane. I mean, I'm speechless right now because I don't even know what to suggest that would help. You know, like, I have no idea. This is very, it's, Oh my gosh, that is insane. As a wise man once said, that is above my pay grade. I don't know what the hell that could like, I don't know, detach Germany from Russia and allow them to still thrive with their natural gas resources and not be affected economically by the grip that Russia has on Germany and most of Europe. Like, this is insane.
What this means overall for Germany is that its foreign policy is driven by natural gas supplies from abroad. A predicament that will endure for the next few decades.
Oh my God,
so
bro.
Berlin is on the fence.
Yeah.
It can either choose domestic instability or long-term security threat from the east, coming from a volatile Ukraine. Now, to be clear, for years, the Americans and allies in Eastern Europe warned their German counterparts that Moscow could use energy as a tool to influence policymaking in Europe.
And they're like, we don't think so. I mean, they haven't done it yet. But now I'm telling you, man, Russia's going to test that shit. I mentioned it earlier in the video, and it was differently worded, but I mentioned that. Russia is going to test that shit. They're going to test it. They're going to put Germany to the test. It's going to be very crazy, and NATO about to be like, what you doing? What you doing, big fella? It's going to be crazy, man.
Berlin, however, shrugged it off as inconsequential.
Oh my God.
It played a weak hand, and now the chickens have come home to roost.
100%.
For Germany, there are no immediate alternatives left in place.
No.
Sure, there are substitute suppliers who can meet Germany's needs, like America, Norway, Algeria, Qatar, and Azerbaijan, but these are long-term considerations that require long-term commitments on part of Berlin. Germany doesn't even have liquefied natural gas infrastructure. The nearest place with LNG port infrastructure sits in Poland, and even that site is still in development.
Sheesh.
So a lot of changes have to be made before Berlin establishes energy security. Even the new energy innovations are no good. It will take decades for these technologies, be it solar, wind, hydrogen, or batteries, to bear fruit. Ukraine, however, doesn't have decades. And until and unless Berlin can be convinced otherwise to take a firm stance with Russia, Kiev and its allies will have to get imaginative in diplomatic dealings. So while all eyes are fixed on Germany, lawmakers in Berlin cannot undo the energy marriage with Moscow without risking socio-economic instability. And that's what it comes down to. Because at heart, politics is the most concentrated expression of economics.
Absolutely, dude.
I've been your host Shivan from Caspian Report. If you approve of what we do, please leave a comment, hit the like button.
Boom, dude. This is absolutely insane. Oh my God, bro. Oh my God. You guys have got to let me know what you think about this in the comments down below. And he did a very well structured video, very palatable breakdown on the conflict going on right now, because I know a lot of people are like, whoa, what the hell's going on? Why are you not helping? Well, this video broke it down in a way that can be fed to a baby, you know, like everybody can adjust this and really process what the hell is going on. If I missed anything, let me know in the comments down below. Go ahead and subscribe to his channel, please. And definitely, you know, the original link is in the description down below. But I personally think that this situation is definitely going to get ugly. It already has. I think the US yesterday already put out that they are going to be placing sanctions on Russia and blah, blah, blah. Russia is about to start playing chess while they're also, you know, head first in a conflict with Ukraine. But they're playing chess with, like, you know, America and everybody else. It's so crazy. It's a nasty situation. And I really hope that we can get past this without anything like major going down, because this could change history quite literally, you know, if the conflict gets big enough. And I really hope it doesn't, man, because I mean, we've had two massive situations pop up and we do not need a third, man. And it's, oh my God. We almost had a third, to be honest, but fortunately we dodged it. But this time, I don't know if we will. You let me know what you think in the comments down below. Take care. Love you guys. Let me know what you think and subscribe. Peace.